Okay, we're going to do a real quick little look at GE, General Electric. This is being brought to you by oldschoolcharts.com, where we learn how to make sense out of the markets the old-fashioned way. I guess that's kind of like Smith Barney or something, we earn, we earn it, or whatever they used to say. Uh, I'll stop trying to be funny. So anyway, just a word of warning. This is just my idea on the markets. Take what you hear here with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Make your decisions upon your own understanding, and do not necessarily trust me. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts, and I didn't go to school to do this, and I have no financial background other than having been reading charts for about a decade and a half. So let's look at GE. This is a long-term chart. It just shows you how ugly things got with GE as they got ugly with so many other things. A quick word here about these panic bottoms. And I've researched this. This is not just my idea. They often do have technical significance, but typically the trend or the counter move or the reactive move that comes out of these panic bottoms is usually so steep you almost have to just ignore some of this, and you have to draw your trend lines and be willing to let this panic bottom fall out of the range of your trend line. Edwards and McGee in Technical Analysis of Stock Trends. John McGee talks about that. He has numerous charts in his book where it's clear that's what he was doing. So, that aside, let's take a look really at the last year to start with, and then we're going to take a look at just the past few months, because I think GE is setting up for a pretty predictable little trade here. First off, if we ignore this, don't get too fixated upon that kind of trend, which clearly cannot be sustained. If that could have been sustained by now, GE would be like, what, 80 or something like that. And that's just an unsustainable ascent. So what I'm doing is, instead of looking at that trend line, I'm going to the next dip. And I'm extending this out to here. You see, that actually ends up making a fairly nice parallel channel. I'm not saying that's always the right way to do it, but for me, if I have 1, 2, 3 touches on that bottom line and 2 touches on the top line, and those lines are parallel, I can do that. I don't really like the fact that we had a touch here and then we came down to the midpoint and had another touch here, but for this particular stock, I just don't see any other way to really establish that bottom boundary, because this is out of bounds. You can do this or that, and maybe that, but you're still left with the same problem. And it's all just drawing lines anyway, isn't it? Anyway, let's look at the 4-hour chart. This is where it gets kind of fun. And basically, I think what we've got here in GE is something of a kind of like a double bottom. We had prices come up to the mid-16s, get slammed back below 14, back up to the same level, get slammed back to, actually a little bit below 14 here, gets slammed back to the mid-14s here, comes back, consolidates for a bit, now has a strong move over this line. And we can look at this one of two ways. You can say this is kind of a double bottom, and that really is kind of what it looks like to me. Or the other way you could look at it, you could say this was a triangle reversal in development. It just broke out real soon. Now, that means two things. It means, A, it's possible that that prices could fall back down and come back into the pattern to do a little bit more work. But the way the markets are going right now, I'm not really seeing that. GE looks pretty strong. I am looking for GE to hit mid-19s. And I've got a position in it that I took, where was I? Don't remember exactly. I think I took my position in the 15 range, and I'm expecting it to. I think I bought it probably off this bounce off this line right here. Once it was it looked confirmed that it was that it had broken this trend right here. I picked up some shares about this area, so I'm looking to get mid-19s out of it, and I will probably be out of it at that point. For the people who are a little bit more patient, maybe or a little bit more greedy, you may want to see if it's going to go up here and tag this line in the low 20s. I'll be happy with the mid-19s. Anyway, good night. Please visit the website. That's oldschoolcharts.com, and I'm going to have links to these and other things on that site. If you want to learn about these old methods of chart reading, come pay us a visit, and I think you'll find it interesting.